Welcome to the PAC Show, the show that brings you all the highlights, the lowlights, the reviews, the previews, the news, and the interviews from rugby here in Australia and around the world.
We lost every game.
Always need to be heard, these bastards.
What? Puncho! What is happening? Samu Kremi! Samu, how you doing, brother? Hey! What is happening?
In the car.
Yes, the boys. Thank you, everyone.
We're the best of friends.
Hilarious.
Yeah, one I won't remember. I will remember.
Yeah, we got him!
Can't be good at it. That's the one thing I'll leave you with.
Yeah! Welcome to the PAC Rugby Show, ladies and gentlemen. Nearly blew Big Fat Darcy's headphones straight off his big fat melon. Welcome to PAC Rugby Show. We're excited. We're feeling good. We've got a huge guest tonight in Sean McMahon calling all the way in from Japan. Also got some weirdness coming out of the Battlers bench at Big Fat Darcy. But before we get into anything else, let's just introduce the panel. And as per usual, packed to the rafters with some bloody good talent. Quirky and Dallin on the starters bench. Round of applause, everyone. Good stuff. And round of applause for Big Fat Darcy.
Or not.
Oh, tough. That one hurts. Big Fat Darcy. No, you're right, man. How you doing, Big Fat Darcy? You feeling good?
No, I lost my phone today. Don't want to talk about it.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. Dropped down lift shaft. All right, I guess we're doing it.
I thought you were just screening me. I was like, oh, man, Big Fat Darcy's off me in a big way.
I've gone deeper the whole do not communicate with me, J-Ball.
Yeah, that's true, man. Nah, we'll just leave it. Speaking of communication, over the blower right now, joining us all the way from Japan, it is none other than Sean McMahon. Sean McMahon, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Sean, how you doing, brother?
Thanks for having me, boys. Appreciate it. Looking forward to a yarn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, mate, we've had you on the blower a little bit before the show went live, and if that's anything to go by, fucking I'm pumped. But, Sean, before we get underway, mate, I just want to ask, mate, a career that spanned 11 seasons to date, 28 tests for the Wallabies included within that. I mean, currently plying your trade in Japan. Did you ever think that this is the way that your career would have panned out?
I guess it's a tough one. You know, everyone, when you're growing up all the way through school, as everyone knows, you want to be playing professional rugby. At the end of my schooling, that wasn't really even on the cards till I ended up skipping schoolies to go play sevens, which started the which started that route and ended me up in Japan, which, you know, can't complain about.
I want to ask you though, Sean. I mean, there's like, to put it bluntly, you left Australian rugby, you'd say almost just as you were hitting your strides. Like, you were absolutely crushing it. Everyone was frothing you. You play with this hard edge aggression, this hard-nosed footy that almost like a replicant of Artie Sarvea, and you pissed off over to Japan. I mean, obviously, there's the financial aspect involved in it, especially with Japanese rugby. Well, was there anything else within Australian rugby that maybe prompted the move?
Obviously, yeah, financially, it was the right decision for me and my family. It was money that's going to set me up for, you know, me and my family up for quite some time. As Quirky knows, he's got a full bank.
Also got 3 kids, mate, or one on the way. So I was in the negative.
But look, yeah, I was stuck behind some great players, Poe, Hoops, all those boys. You know, I just wanted to be, you know, playing a lot more footy, and, you know, just wanted to be out, and the opportunity to come overseas and apply my trade appealed to me. And yeah, I did leave in my prime, but yeah, I look back at that and still sometimes think, what if? But, you know, I chose to come here, and I'm living out that.
I want to take it right back, Shawnee. There's always been rumours that are around, you know, the start of your career and you know, how you were very, very close to obviously joining the armed forces. Talk us through those first couple of years. How close were we to potentially never seeing you, you know, one don a Rebels jersey and then one a Wallabies jersey as well?
Yeah, quite close. Basically, at the end of schooling, I had nothing going. I was my manager, Anthony Piccone. Basically said, mate, just give us one more chance, come down and play in Noosa in the sevens down that way. And I was like, yeah, fuck, why not? Bit of fun with the boys down that way, play a bit of footy, get on the tubes. Pretty much what I like to do. And, you know, that kind of, if that didn't happen, I most definitely probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
Mate, fifth season at Suntory. Just talk about what it's like. We've heard Quirky's experience, but what's your experience like being over there in Japan and compared to Aussie rugby?
It's been fantastic. It's hard to beat the games here. The quality's getting better and better every year. Can't beat the time off you get with your family. And once again, you know, the boys love a good social, which is always fantastic to lift the spirits and team bonding, as everyone knows when it comes to footy. But no, my experience here has been nothing but great, and the club's always been good to me as well. So I have nothing to complain about here. It's absolutely fantastic.
You talk about having good socials and that, mate, as we've all been a part of a good few over there.
Look at his face.
He's
What's
happy.
going on?
He's loving it. No, nothing's leading in here. Mate, you obviously, mate, you play hard, and I know that you guys at Suntory especially, you're training hard, and, mate, you've always been one for that. But ETW, mate, a lot of people probably around the world wouldn't really know what that meant. You live by that motto. Can you talk us about your week leading into what's that ETW moment about?
Yeah. Look, I can't take all the rest of that. That all started here from the GOAT, Matty Giddo. Was throwing it around the gym every now and then I started to think to myself, well, geez, that's pretty much how I based my entire career. Work hard, play hard, earn the weekend.
There you go, bang.
You say, for example, pre-season, getting smoked all week, Monday to Friday. The only thing better than, you know, a bit of footies, drinking a few tubes with the boys on a Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
And there's the true definition of ETW.
There it is.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's so sick. But speaking of earning the weekend, Sean, coming back from an ACL, we've seen on your socials you've been busting your ass to get back up and running and fighting fit. How's the knee coming along? Can we expect you back playing anytime soon? Or if not, what's the time frame looking like?
Yeah, it's tracking along well. 5.5 months now, back running. Looking to be back full swing by, back end of the year. Been a long year and a half because I came off a shoulder, rolled that pretty much straight into a knee. So, yeah, last year and a half's been a bit tough on a few different fronts, but finally starting to come out the other end and hopefully, by the end of the year, finally be back on the field.
And, mate, that's it. We've all... The bench has been through a couple of knee stuff as well, mate, so we feel your pain. Look, over the years, mate, your name's always thrown in the mixer about either coming home for Wallabies or Super Rugby stuff, and I know you're about how old? 23, 24 now, so you're getting on. Your head says otherwise. But, mate, I know you probably might have a bit of an extended stay in Japan now, but is there any chance of you ever coming back to the Wallabies or within the Super Rugby system again?
Look, I'd never write off maybe Super, sitting at 49 caps, so I wouldn't mind going to 50. But I think my time in the gold might be over. There's plenty of fantastic players there at the moment. You've got Fraser McWright and all those boys. So, mate, Wallabies are all good in that area. So I think my time in the gold might have it's done its due now.
If you were to come home, where would you want to go? Where would you want to end up?
Geez, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one. I'd always probably go, Melbourne's always great. Had a fantastic time in Melbourne. But if I was coming home, I'd probably be, hopefully in Queensland if that opportunity ever arose. Back to the motherland.
Mate, we've heard you love the tubes, but so over your career and over in Japan, mate, who were some of the boys that you loved playing with, and then also getting on the tubes after a game with?
If we're talking back in Australia, you got your greats like Laurie Weeks, Geordie Reid, Luke Jones, Nick Surzacker, Tommy English. You can't pass up a few of those boys. Dale's sitting there with a big smile on his face. He knows.
He knows.
And then you got boys over here, Hendrik Tui, who Quirky spent a fair bit of time with over his
Don't know the bloke.
career.
Never heard of
But
him.
no, there's been plenty of boys that there's not a lot of lads that I haven't enjoyed having a good time with. And, you know, when you're working hard and with those boys all the time, you know, there's nothing better than just going out for a feed and having a cold one with them.
Yeah, I was about to ask Sean because that's something that you know it's not necessarily frowned upon nowadays, but the idea of you know, chop and piss and having fun and building culture around that is probably not as prevalent as it was maybe 10, 15, 20 plus years ago. Is that something you're pretty like staunch on? It doesn't necessarily have to be about chop and piss and having fun, but the whole culture outside of the club is what can actually help the club on the pitch too.
Yeah, on that, I feel like I would have thrived 20 years ago, to be honest. Really. But, nah, definitely I think the culture outside of the club is really what builds the team and, you know, brings you all together. The more you know someone, you know, the harder you're going to play with them and have their back. So my thing outside of, you know, just coming into training every day, bonding with each other outside the field, be it on beers or having a feed or just even going for a coffee is absolutely crucial.
Mate, massive. And obviously we're going to get into the soft stuff here, mate. Your wife, Nia, and your two boys, Mac and Axel, mate. Obviously you're out on the piss a lot and you're having a good time. But also on the flip side of things, you got to get the thumbs up every time they go and do that. And I know you go home early most nights anyway. So, mate, life outside of rugby for you, I know a fair bit about it as well. Obviously, you spent a little bit of time away from them, but now they've relocated. So what's that look like at the moment for the gang over there?
Yeah, it's got the family back over here full time now. Obviously, you know, as everyone had through COVID, there was a bit of difficult times with the family being away. And, you know, like yourself, I've been away from mine for quite a while through that period. So to have them all back over here now, settled in, we've moved into Chofu where there's a little bit more going on. So the missus and the boys are all pretty happy. So, and as long as they're happy, I'm happy. And then, you know, it goes from there.
And how are you finding that? Obviously, balancing playing professional footy and being a father, it's probably something that, you know, for most men, when you talk about it, it's the biggest job they have. You know, everything else becomes secondary. How's it been with Mac and Axel, and what's that been like?
Yeah, they are, you know, the best thing that's ever happened to me. At the same time, they're absolute demons when they want to. But I, you know, I take my hat off to my wife. She's absolutely fantastic with them and takes a lot of the reins, especially when I'm training and playing. So only when I have them, I struggle on a day. So she has them a lot more than that. So, but we make it work, and yeah, absolutely adore them. They're absolute little lads, and love them to death.
It fills me with joy knowing that even like professional athlete dads are shit house too. Oh man, I'm with you. I've got an 8-month-old, and when my wife's like, just got to run out to the shops, I'm like,
Panic.
oh,
Get all
shit.
sweaty.
Yeah, I'm like, oh god, here we go.
Mate,
So, good to know.
I'm asking her to pack a bag with all the essentials for her to go for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh shit, yeah.
You pretty much got to do what I do and just say, hey, I need to go to the shops, and you go to Hiroshima for 8 months. So if you want to learn anything, you learn it from here. So
You do duck back every once in a while,
yeah,
just to
emphasis
just
to
to increase the
back.
family.
Yeah, just to get her pregnant again and then piss off.
Hey,
Quick in and out snap.
Sure, mate. You played a role in the 2015 World Cup, and looking at the current Wallaby squad, Eddie Jones at the helm and coaches and structure he's put in place. What do you think about Wallaby's chances? How's the team looking for this World Cup?
Eddie at the helm's just going to be real interesting to see how he whips them into shape. You know, just at him at the helm brings our chances up, I think, tenfold. So there's plenty of talent there. It's just how it gets used, and it's going to be interesting to see how it rolls.
Bloody oath. And you have a very unique perspective, Sean, in regards to, obviously, you've been in the Japanese system for a bloody long time, but you also, as you said, played nearly 50-odd caps in Super Rugby. So been in both systems for a long time, really entrenched in it. We've seen domestic competitions around the world they're struggling. You know, over in England, we've seen a couple of clubs go under. We see Super Rugby, you know, it is struggling to sort of draw the crowds and stuff like that. But then you look at, say, Japan and France, where the club system, La Rochelle's just won the European Cup. Japanese rugby is just going above and beyond. They're signing some of the best footy players in the world. What is it about the Japanese and the French in particular, their club system, that they are just getting so right to be able to have such a strong domestic competition, which then obviously seems to really trickle up into their national team?
The yen.
Helps.
No. I just think you're starting to get a lot of class players coming, especially to Japan. Which from when I got here, it was, you know, plenty of talented players and the club competition was there, but it was a bit more semi-pro, where now it's gone that League One and there's a lot more talent coming in and out, and there's even talent coming from England and stuff like that. So from a Japanese league perspective, that's, you know, I think it's just the calibre of player now that's coming over, and there's a lot of big names starting to lift the kind of game that's happening here. So that's what I'd say on that department there.
I mean, you did sort of touch on, jokingly, the yen, but do you think that the financial backing is incredibly crucial? Like, we all know a business can't run without cash behind it, but do you think that is what's helping prop it up and obviously helping it grow?
Like anything, you'd assume that, you know, with big businesses behind it, obviously over here you're all run by companies, and they help keep it going. And we're starting to get a lot bigger crowds too, which is obviously, you know, the company's spreading the word and starting to get a bit more televised over here as well. So, yeah, I can only assume that's, you know, is helping. But, you know, with the, as I mentioned, like the calibre of players bringing more people to the game, so it's making it a bit better.
Fair enough.
It always helps when, obviously, you're an alcohol company and your team's drinking, you know, a year's worth of revenue and piss every year as well. That always
self-fulfilling, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I've put a bit back into my contract. Yeah.
It's good to give back.
He's got we all know you got a piss clause in there, mate.
Real company man.
Sean, mate, Quirky, he informed me of something that you have a certain set of tattoos, and if it's true, it's phenomenal. Quirky, did you tell me that he has bee's knees? Is that true?
Yeah, got the bees on me, see if I can get her up there.
Yeah. I love that. I love
it. Little cutie. Got 4 of those.
What's the story behind them?
I made a bet with Ingo. He said if you get Tom English, if you get bees on your knees, he'll get his first tattoo. So, you know, one day we were in Melbourne and I just called him into the tattoo shop, and he rolled in and saw what was going on, and then next is history.
That's it.
You've got a couple of other ones. There's one outstanding one on your guts. And look, I've seen you in the nude more times than I should have, but I used to see that one a fair bit. Can you run us through that one?
Oh, yeah, got happy hour on my guts, you know, pretty much like just along the little side there. Just where all the good times go, pretty much. Whenever you drink beers, for some reason, it just always seems to go to my hips.
There you go.
Many more to come, I reckon. Many more to come.
Sick.
Speaking of getting nude, mate, are you a budgies in the shower or complete nud? And then in Australia, then compared to the shower scene over in Japan, what's the general consensus over there? What are the boys doing?
I've gone complete nud now. I wouldn't do anything but, you know, no point wasting time getting it wet. So yeah, but you know, most of the boys over here, complete nud. Well, it's suntory anyway.
Well, yeah, they've
That's
got
culture.
the big communal showers, onsen vibe going on, don't they?
Yeah.
It's good gas.
It's if you roll in with pants, you sort of or the skins, you ridiculed a little bit. As you know, Sean, they'll turn you around and say, get the mushroom out and bring it in here, and we'll get into it. Pretty like that's the way it goes. It's really sort of like it's a cultural thing, and you just don't do it. So you just got to get stuck in. You got to get it out and get it on.
What's the onsen? Like, what's an onsen compared to a normal shower? What's the
Onsen's like a bath.
It's like a big room. Yeah.
Communal bath.
Hot
Dick.
big bars.
Big hot bar,
that's
flames,
footy.
saunas. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh,
Real fun.
100%. It sort of made me rethink all my time in Aussie, where everyone was in the skins and stuff, and you go over there and made all shapes and sizes, and they're not big groomers, the Japanese either.
No,
Sean,
they're
as
not.
you can
They're not.
attest to,
But they're also very hairless, except for
There.
their schlong and
Yeah.
stuff. It's kind of loose.
But it's good, mate. Everyone just gets stuck in. As I said, it doesn't matter what you're rocking. You're in there and you're yarning. There's a lot of leg up chats as well.
Yeah.
Massive leg up
Traveller's
chats.
leg. Having a yarn,
casual?
yeah.
Just be like, so anyway,
So you see,
How's
you're
your
seeing,
weekend? How's you up to?
how's the wife? Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
you're seeing what people had for dinner most
That's
times. So, but mate, that's why I go back.
Yen be damned.
And Shorty, we do a fast five to finish with everyone.
Yeah.
Today we're going to do 6 with you. Question one is, if you could have any other athlete from any other sport in your starting 15, who would you have?
Any other sport? I'd probably go. I'd love to see how an NFL player would go. So maybe like an Odell Beckham Jr. out on the
On the
wing or in the centres there.
Love it.
Nice.
That'd be filth.
What's your career highlight?
I think it's hard to beat my first cap against Wales. Pretty hard to beat that.
Favorite teammate of all time?
Of all time would probably be Geordie Reid, I reckon.
Least favorite?
I wish I played with Quirky. So.
Wanker.
But that's a tough one. I'm not sure, boys.
All right.
Not sure.
Question 5. Who's been the most influential person in your career?
It's a tough one because there's a few. You can look back at my parents and stuff like that. But, you know, my manager over especially the last few years has probably, you know, kept me looking forward, especially with the injuries. So probably, yeah, my manager.
And then finally, mate, if you could win a competition and get on the piss with 5 blokes out of everyone you've ever played with, who's your top 5 to go 3 days with?
Yeah. Laurie Weeks, Geordie Reid. Look, I would throw Quirky in there for a bit of a laugh, you know, get around it.
That's all I bring. I guess.
Yeah, look, it's about it. All you who else? Hendrick Tui, Justin Downey.
Love it.
Holy shit, mate! You had that sitting on the top of your dome, didn't you? You rifled that off.
Look, you asked me to bring together a few boys on the piss, so I could rattle out 100.
Keep going. Oh, mate. Shawnee, mate, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. We know the season's wrapped up over there and you just finished your end-of-season meeting, so appreciate you finding the time. But, mate, all the best. Hopefully we do see you in Australia picking up your 50th Super Rugby cap for the Reds sometime soon, and hopefully you can wear Wallaby Gold again. But if not, mate, just keep chopping piss and having fun in Japan. We wish you all the best, brother.
That's it. Cheers, lads. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers,
Thanks, Shawnee.
Shawnee. Later, brother.
Cheers, Brawny.
Round of applause, Sean McMahon.
Oh,
What a legend, man.
I forgot to ask him. So every time I kept Googling, I was like, I'll go on his wiki, I'll see where he played juniors, all that kind of stuff. And I kept Googling Sean McMahon, and it kept saying, did you mean Shane McMahon? And I was going to ask him about his dad, Vince, and his sister, Stephanie, and his brother-in-law, Triple H. Let's go again. Get him back. He's gone. Zachy, is he still? Nah, I missed him. That's what it was on my phone, but I dropped it. See, that's what kills me. Not all the family photos and stuff that I've lost. Vince McMahon chat. What?
Has he re-signed?
I think so. Look, you know, if he's talking about being ready in December, that's when season kicks off. So you'd assume so.
Mate, he was a great loss, Aussie Rugby. And we talk about the personalities in the game. Imagine if he was in Australia. I don't know. The media would probably hate him because he calls a spade and loves chopping
doesn't he?
piss. So, say la vie. Big Fat Das, anything out of the Battlers bench this week, brother?
Maybe we do. We've we talked about it last week. Me and you, Jay Ball, we went down to West Ladies Day. They let us in the tent for some reason, and we let it rip. Zachy, West Ladies Day.
Versus East. Here's the tent. Battlers bench. Let's go have a look.
This is for West, baby.
This is for West, baby. Okay. All right, here we go. Ladies' Day. Are you enjoying yourself a Ladies' Day down here at West?
Always. It's about my 100th West Ladies' Day. I'm that old, so add another one to the list.
A couple of boys. The Colts boys are looking pretty good today.
Someone might catch a case, but...
I'm going to jump today.
Oh, yeah, now you got to jump to them.
No, I don't.
How fit do the boys look?
They look amazing, amazing. Very good job. I love all the sparkles and the necklaces.
Ladies' Day.
Ladies' Day.
What does it mean to you?
It means everything. It's a day to say thank you to all the ladies in your life. And it's Mother's Day tomorrow, even better.
You know Calhoun?
Yep.
Yeah, you called him the Great White Hope, and let me tell you, he listened to that on repeat for about 5 days. He went, oh, look, guys, listen to this. He went, guys, listen to this. I'm the Great White Hope. He kept playing it for our family dinner.
I feel good and I look good.
He's meant to be working. This guy. What does West Ladies' Day mean to you?
Well, honestly, it means everything.
Shouldn't you be working?
What? I am working. I'm working on these girls.
How good are you feeling right now?
I don't think I've ever felt better, ever.
Drinks, the food. Oh,
The boys?
no. I can't say the boys
Okay.
because my husband will.
Of course, Big Ernie.
Signing out from Big Fat Das.
All right, well. How good are Ladies' Days?
Ladies' Days are sick.
Quirky, Dal, J-Board, when you guys were in Colts, did you ever get the call up to have to be the shirtless waiter at a Ladies' Day?
We never did it.
Classic
There
brothers.
was never any girls at our Ladies' Day. I went down to Brothers on the weekend. It was fucking phenomenal. There was 300 women there.
Did you see at halftime when they came back from at the ad or whatever, and there's like some chick just like running up and down the dead ball line, just geeing the crowd up? She would have been 50.
Yeah, good.
Just fizzing for it, man. No, I was routinely told we didn't have Ladies' Day and then found out retroactively. I'd gone home.
Did it
and they
every
had
year.
They
Don't
just
tell
didn't want me
Jay.
there, yeah.
Services required, shirt off. No.
Nah. Because I said if you're going to make me take my shirt off, you've got to supply the razors to shave my back, and they wouldn't fork out for it, so...
But back in those days, when West, we were in the old club. You know, times were a bit tough back then.
That was the better clubhouse.
That was
To be fair,
Such a good
to be
clubhouse.
fair, that's when that was a clubhouse where
Those old change rooms?
yeah. Wait,
Get a tetanus on the way out.
I love
think last
it.
time
And
I
on
went to West.
The Black Dogs actually had the last piss up in the old change rooms before they knocked it down. I think
broke in.
we were playing Bow Desert in Bow Desert, and we hired a bus and just had a mate of ours who's school teacher. He's like, yeah, I got my ticket. We're like, rock on. And I think Dar set the theme, and it was jocks, crocs, socks, and 30 blocks. So we all came back on the bus with 30 blocks, jocks, and crocs and socks.
I went to Kmart.
They were knocking it down on the Monday, and Joe Staples was like, yeah, I'll just leave it unlocked for you. We just went in, had a smoke machine, laser, some sake. It was good gas.
There's
yeah.
photos of me
There was like
in
an
my
inch of water.
Oh,
just
yeah.
underneath. It was
photos
good.
of me in my undies at a Westpac ATM at 3 a.m, get out $500 cash. The thing about that old clubhouse is, you know, what we used to do is someone would like push someone through the gyprock, and so we just moved the wallaby photos. That's where that goes.
Low of
Yeah,
centre, just a little
just
bit
down
low
here
centre.
now.
It was good fun, man.
But we probably will have something else
we definitely
for
will,
next
mate.
week. Which,
Yeah.
little thing that takes a little bit more editing. Stuff like that.
no, it's done. We just wanted to space it out a little bit. It's called production, Dash. You wouldn't understand, mate.
Algorithm.
But I think the ladies' days are getting a little bit more bougie, don't you think?
Oh,
You're
they
talking
are.
about-
Look at the effort.
Well, UQ
Yeah.
doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
They've got a bit of
getting a
strife.
bit loose.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
I think there wasn't there a bit of
You wouldn't
strife from
play
up
then,
at
would you?
Yeah.
up top from the.
Why would you
professors?
want to play at UQ to begin with?
I
That's
agree.
beyond me, mate. All right, now it's time
Losers.
for our red hot takes for this weekend. Wrapping things up. Big fat ass. What's your red hot take? Quick go.
Can you come back to me?
No.
I've had it written in my old phone.
Do you want me to take over from here?
Quirky, what is our red hot take?
East versus Brothers down at Bottomley Park.
Brothers.
Massive one.
Brothers for a
Yeah,
win.
I think it's I think it might be Old Boys Day.
That'd be a
from
good
memory.
one.
So
Who you got?
East. I'm going to go with Tigers just solely because
They have been surprising this
man.
season, mate.
down in that
They're
left
killing
corner, the left corner where it used to sort of sink in, and if you fell over there, you would be needing to go to hospital due to infection. That little corner fills up, and when I was playing, we used to literally kick to that corner if possible. Even if we're on the other side, we'd turn to kick to that corner just because we'd know we'd score because of the absolute filth and scum that was ready to rock in that corner.
We're all very much well aware, Quirky.
Yeah,
West,
I think you're
We know, mate.
at the old field for West, there used to be. We actually used to warm up in one of the dead balls because that was the only place that was green or whatever. We're like, oh, that must be because no one's using it 10 times a night. It was green. I was like, oh, we'll do out scorpions, whatever, all this kind of stuff. Turns out it was actually a burst sewage pipe under the dead ball. We all started getting boils, and we're like, what are these things? I don't know. And then we'd go in the plungers, hot, cold. It's like, what are these school sores and boils and stuff?
Hand, foot, and mouth.
Yeah.
Where's the original scrum pox?
How good is West?
So I got East.
Dow, your
East.
red hot take.
I think the Reds beat the Highlanders.
Down at Forsyth Bar,
Ooh,
undercover.
they need it too.
Helps with the chili, helps with the damp.
Yeah,
You think they're going to do
I
it?
think they do it.
That side they've picked is very good, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It's good to see, obviously, James back in the side. And in the number 12 jersey, I think he makes a big difference. So, Wilso back starting. I think they're going to do it.
Rock on, man. Fizzing at the bunghole for that one. Big fat ass.
Mate, I don't know my Hunter. Ooh, top of the table just came to me. Top of the table. Flash. Wildfires versus Gordon. 1v2. Got to go Wildfires, man. Then them at the top defending their lead, never been in that position. They're going to keep rocking.
Thanks for that one, Zach. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Zachy.
Zach through the cans was coming through hot for
I was like, wait.
Big Fat Das. All right, now it's just time for our rugby watch, just to round things out. Big Fat Das, your rugby from the weekend just gone. Manasa Mataele.
Mate, he is playing for the Force or the wing there. He's like, he goes through. He does a lot of work in that Force backline. He the amount of work rate he gets through, and he's just a big bopper too.
For his usual output, it was quiet game in regards to the exciting shit. But as you said, his work rate, like his defense, his touches, like he goes hard, mate, and he's absolutely killing it. I thought he was so much. He's like 26. I thought he was going there to round out his career.
So he came from the Crusaders. He's just gonna do
Yeah.
his last couple of years at the
Like,
Force.
He's in his mid-20s. Like,
His
all right.
his uncle played for Fiji and the Crusaders, and
I think also, I
I'd
think
written down
his,
on my phone.
I think his wife might even be at the Force. From
She
memory.
is.
She
Yeah.
is. So I think
Okay.
that was sort of
She won the
headed towards
the
having
PAC
a move.
Western Force Player of the Year for Super W. So the Pig Athletic Club Player of the Year for the Western Force for Super W. Martha Mataele. She's an absolute gun, mate. She almost single-handedly won that game against, I think it was the Rebels earlier this year. She's a freak, mate. She's an absolute gun. Dow, your rugby from the weekend just gone.
Young Max Jorgensen, obviously debut season, had 3 try assists over the weekend, ran for ridiculous amount of meters, and he's just been outstanding. What I like about this young man is he's got it all. Like, he kicks really well, he understands the game, he pops up in the right places. He's just not a flash in the pan. He's someone who's really quick. He's not a big body, but he does the tough stuff as well. And like, he's obviously got a huge future. And at the start of the season, I was a bit worried about him coming in and his body and managing that. But had a couple of weeks off, and he just keeps going from strength to strength. And I think he might be someone who we see on the plane to the World Cup potentially as a development player.
That would be absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome.
When have you seen someone of his age and caliber come straight into Super and just consistently perform week in, week out?
But
and
also not a freakish talent, not like a Tongan Thor or a Geordie Pataya,
James
who's these
O'Connor or
athlete,
Quade Cooper, right?
who are these, like, they're genuinely athletes. Like this dude,
45 kilos ring.
yeah, looks like built like a 12-year-old vegetarian, but he's like, mate, he's bloody good gas, man.
He is.
Quirky, your rugby from the weekend just gone.
Shannon Parry.
Can't go past, mate.
We can't. So I had a bit to do, played with her brother, and we knew each other as we were a bit younger, and she's obviously hung up the boots. But again, massive stalwart for the Sevens, sort of put it on the map, to be honest, and went there, and then as well as the Wallaroo. So she's always given back to club rugby. She's always given back to Super. She's done a lot for the game, and I know it was the last hit out, but again, she put her head down, bum up, and got stuck in as well too. So going to be very sad to see Paz not on the scene, but I think she will still be on the scene.
She is just a genuine bad bitch, man. She is, mate. She's tough as a $2 steak and has just done so much for the women's game. It's almost, unimaginable just what the game would be if it didn't have people like Shannon Parry. Like Olympic gold medalist. Commonwealth Games gold medalist. Like captain the seven side alongside Shani Williams to World Series titles, to Commonwealth Games, Olympic silver medals. Like comes back, captains the 15s. Most games captain is at 17 out of her 24. Like she has just done so much for the women's game, man. It's a testament to her career that she gets to send off like that, eh?
I feel in 5 years or so, like her and Liz Partu, who have played their whole careers and 24 games. Liz Partu, 33 games. In 5 years, I feel as if they're just moving forward. They're going to be playing more and more games, and I just feel, like in a couple of years, her career would have been a lot more games or whatever if she was.
If it was now,
Yeah.
but that's exactly what
Yeah.
it is, right? Like.
Yeah.
She is a trailblazer.
Yeah.
She genuinely is.
Yeah. She's almost created that for more games.
She has.
To get more games.
She's done it in a time when recognition for women's sport was almost nil.
Yeah.
Now look at it. The Wallaroos are playing the Black Ferns, and it's going to be a full production, free to wear, all this sort of stuff. It's going to be this absolutely massive thing. Like they're going to World Cups. They're going to be getting paid.
Yeah.
Shannon Parry didn't get $1 out of her international career. But what she's done is she's paved the way for women in Australia and around the world to play the game of rugby and be recognised for their achievements. Yeah. It's huge. So, congrats to Shannon Parry. I think the game owes her a hell of a lot here in Australia. So, absolutely awesome shit. Alrighty, well, that rounds out this week's episode of the PAC Rugby Show. Short and sharp. Love it. Quirky. Dallin. Big fat Das. Crushed it as per usual. Gonna have to get that phone out of the lift, mate, because that Shane McMahon chat would have been good gas. Zach Boy, the ones and twos, as per usual, absolutely crushing it out here at the DoubleTake Studios. My name's Jabor. On behalf of everybody here, just like to say, stay safe, enjoy your footy, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.